It's basketball season. We are so excited to be underway. It just seems like it's been a long time. Usually people say, God, it just seems like we just finished basketball season. Not for me. It feels like it's been a very long time. We're really excited about the opportunity to be back on the floor and things beginning to get back to normal a little bit. That's exciting. As far as our team, I think one of the best things is that we had them this summer. Having 6 newcomers, which are 4 freshmen and 2 transfers. And Dominique Davis, it's a transfer from LSU. Macy Weaver, transfer from Arkansas. And then our 4 freshmen, Asia Brotman, Asia Leak, Morgan Dillard, and Emma Walhoff. It's really, really good for them to get acclimated, which our freshmen last year didn't get to do all that. But for them to get acclimated and kind of understand what our system is. I think the biggest challenge for anyone that comes in here is we're about pace. We're not going to walk to the end of a line. We're not going to walk from drill to drill. We're on pace. There's just not a whole lot of slow down time for us. And so them having that this summer really provides them with much greater advantage than our freshmen last year. Returning players, it's been exciting. I will tell you, we've seen a lot of growth in players. Probably the 2 most improved players is Fess Hawkins, that was a junior last year, transfer from Vincennes, and Destiny Smith. We have moved her to the wing spot, and she has really improved her shooting and has really kind of grasped a better mindset of what to do with the basketball. They're, in my opinion, the 2 most improved. Fess last year, she couldn't get her balance. She traveled a lot. Her feet were just really, really bad. But again, much, much improvement. Steady Eddie is Berkayla Gray. No doubt. Berkayla is someone that is truly, no doubt, one of the toughest players and a workhorse that I've ever coached. She just hasn't slowed down. Her ball handling has gotten a little better. But she's just a mainstay. She is just a mainstay, and she's going to get whatever is done. It's got to be done. She's going to do it. She's going to get it done. She has been Miss Consistent of the summer and of our fall as well. I think Rose Warren, Lauren Gross has improved their shooting. Last year I think it was just a struggle for Lauren. Hadn't really played in 2 years, and then was expected to come in and score for us. And honestly, we had extremely high expectations for her. She was disappointed. We were disappointed. But this year, she is in much better rhythm, understanding the pace and every bit of that. Rose Warren, which was a key for us down the stretch last year, has continued to improve. Since they moved the 3-point line for the women's game, they moved it out to the guys' 3-point line. Rose early on struggled to shoot it a little deeper. And you don't really think that inches matters, but it does. Inches do matter. And so she has really, really improved in that aspect of it. Malia and Kelsey inside. I'm going to tell you, Malia Grayson is just continuing to get better every day. And one of the things that we plan to do is to put her in situations where she can do some things facing the basket as well, because she is a great passer. You've never really seen that because we've always kept her just married to that block. But she's really improved on her jump hook on the block, but at the same time, her passing ability has really, really gotten better. And she just has a great feel for the game. Kelsey's continued to be Kelsey. She has continued to make some strides. Kelsey, I think the biggest area that she's really improved on is she's taken some ownership in that post position. She's become much more vocal, which is very positive for that post game, because they need someone other than just Fess Hawkins to be the talker. And so Kelsey has really taken some ownership in it. Emmy James was a player that did not get to see many minutes last year at all. She has been one of those that has really shown some bright spots. Now understand, with all of them, this summer we did strictly skill development, of working on their skill set, their offensive and defensive set. I do think their offense has improved, and as much as we've worked on defense, on ball defense, it's still got a ways to go. But we are committed to totally continuing to improve that. But again, it's been fun watching that overall improvement. And with Emmy, with Rose, with Brickayla and Malia, the biggest thing for them is confidence. They're totally different players because of that level of confidence that you have as a sophomore. And so I'm just really pleased with the progress that they're making. Do we have a ways to go? Sure, we all do. But I will say the competition is on with us having 15 players because, as you guys know, you can't play 15 players. I'd like to, but there's really no way. So it will be a heated competition into who's going to get the opportunity to get minutes on the floor. And I really think that's what we've lacked. You know, like Morgan Jones and Dominique Davis is going to put the heat on Day. It's not solid that Day Jallman's going to be our point guard. She should be it. She should. And she's shown a lot of maturity in that position over the summer. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to be going after her to get some minutes at that point guard spot. And that only makes us better.
What's been the message so far this season, entering your 18th season here?
I'm getting old. You know, I think the message has been is we've got some unfinished business. We got some stuff we got to accomplish. It's not the end yet. And we must be able to make some strides this year. We've got people in position to be able to do that. We've just got to put it together as a unit. But there's some unfinished business that has to be taken care of. We also read a book this summer called Raise Your Game. And it is a great book. Our players went through it. We did worksheets with it and everything. And it talks about you don't just raise your personal game, you raise your entire team game. Instead of just concentrating on you, you also work to elevate the play of everybody else on your team. So we've got to continue to raise the game, but we got overall some unfinished business we got to accomplish.
Now that you guys, get a summer, you get, in theory, a non-conference schedule. How does that help your year 2 players?
Oh my goodness!
Your incoming your newcomers.
Yeah, and it's like those 4 freshmen are sophomores now. They got those 2 games we threw in there last year, but they got 0 non-conference games last year other than those 2 we tossed in. And then they were thrown in conference play. And I'm going to tell you, the strides that they made in conference play, think how good they could have been if they would have had all of that time. They didn't. So I think that's why that they've made so much strides in the work ethic that they possess. I mean, they have been very, very resilient of wanting to learn and eager, wanting to watch film, wanting to get on the floor for extra shots. So I'm just excited because when you look at us, we have 15 players, but we have 8, 4 sophomores, 4 freshmen that are more than half of our team. I mean, that's a lot. And so they're going to be learning together, but I'm telling you, those 4 sophomores have a chance to really make some special things happen before they complete their career here at Southern Miss.
How much of an impact do your 2 transfers, or are you anticipating for them to make an impact? And what are you hoping that they can fill in for this year for you?
I think that, yes, I do expect them to make a difference. I really do. Dominique Davis was able to start some at LSU last year. Dominique Davis is one of the most skilled players on our team. She has no doubt the best body balance. So when she gets in traffic or is coming off ball screens, she's always has great balance to be able to make the pass. That's not something you see in the women's game all the time. Usually if somebody's momentum's going one way, that's the direction you're going. Dom has a great base and plays with great body balance. And so I think she's going to be a factor of being able to make our offensive flow because of that. Also, what it allows her to do is when she gets in the paint, she can finish because she has tricks in her bag. She's really worked hard at developing her 3-point shot and has hit some shots in our workouts. But we just expect she and Macy both to bring that play of playing against SEC opponents and practicing against a high-level player every single day to come in to make a difference. And I believe they will. unfortunately, Macy has been injured this entire time. She, first drill, second rep, broke her nose, laid it over, and they had to go in and rebuild it all. She did not get any workouts this summer. Started back in the fall, was off to a great start. Bingo, messed up her calf muscle. There's a slight tear in one of the muscles that goes into the calf muscle, or a ligament going into the calf muscle. So she has not done any fall workouts either. So what she will impact us with is yet to be seen, just because she hasn't really been on the floor. We got to keep her healthy.
So with so many younger players this year and still kind of a lot of new faces, what's your ideal vision of how this offense runs this season?
Well, I'm hoping that the 4 sophomores, and with Deja Almond and Destiny Smith, particularly, and Kelsey Jones, particularly the 3 of them, which are 3 players that have been in our program. Kelsey's really a 5th-year player, and the other 2 are seniors. The 3 of them should be the 3 that leads everyone else, because Dom and Lauren are basically the juniors on the court. And so they both really are new. I mean, Dom is brand new, and Lauren didn't get a whole lot of opportunity to play last year. So Day and Des and Kelsey have got to be the anchors for us and have really got to take some leadership on. And I will tell you, Day's leadership and Destiny's leadership has really grown by leaps and bounds. It has really. Kelsey's has, as I mentioned, but those 2 have made tremendous jumps in overall giving direction on our team. Now, I'm a believer it's easy to be a leader when things are good. So when we're out there grinding it like we start today, then we'll see how all that comes, because that's when the heat's on. And, like I said, it's easy when it's easy, but when it's hard, that's when the cream rises to the top. And so we're planning on them to rise to the top.
How will shooting improve this year from last year?
How who?
Shooting the ball from outside.
Did you talk to my dad before this interview?
No, ma'am.
He asked me every morning. I call my parents every morning and every night. Every single morning, my dad says, "Sis, y'all got your shooting any better today?" I said, "Dad, you just asked me that question." "Yeah, I know, but every day shooting counts." I hope. We've spent a lot of time shooting the basketball. I think a newcomer that is going to struggle in some aspects of the game because of the physicalness of it, but she's one of the ones that has increased most in strength, is Emma Walhoff. Now, she was the freshman. She set the national record last year for 3-point shooting. Now, it is the ugliest shot you have ever seen, but it goes in. Mm-hmm. We're not changing it. So there's not a whole lot fundamental to that shot, but it goes in. She's going to add. I think Lauren has shot the ball better. Bracayla Gray has really, really elevated her offensive game. Des has got better. Rose Warren. They all have really improved in their shooting. But I'm going to tell you, to evaluate our shooting, it's when those striped shirts go on and the heat is on. It is easy. It's what I tell my daddy. It is easy to do shooting drills and to be getting after each other in practice and shooting it well. But when the stripes go on, some people just struggle with that. They just can't. Some people embrace that pressure. Some people struggle with it. And I hope we have more that's going to embrace it this year rather than being a little scared.
What do you kind of tell them to embrace that pressure?
Well, I'll tell you what we did, what we're doing. Mm-hmm. We have a shooting license test. Okay, like you go get your driver's license, we have mm-hmm. shooting license. Mm-hmm. They have a green light, a yellow light, or a red light. And so right now, there's only about 4 on our team that has the green light, because they go through the shooting test. We're doing it every 3 weeks to see where they are. And you're going to get the green light or the yellow light. And you can change, it can go from green to yellow. It's not going to go green to red. But that's what 2 of them were in red. And they said, "Coach, what am I going to do if I'm wide open?" I said, "If there's 25 seconds on the shot clock, you're wide open for a reason. You pass the ball. Because you're open, because your shot could be a turnover. So you've got to get your behind in this gym and work on it and work your way out of the red zone so you can have some respect built in your opponents, but also have confidence in yourself that you're going to knock it down. So now if you're wide open with 5 seconds to play, that's all a different story. It's all about the time and the clock of it.
I wanted to ask more specifically about Malia. I mean, is she one of those players that you kind of need and expect to make kind of that big jump this year?
She's got to make a big jump. She really does. And, she is just, it's really funny with Malia and I'm going to say Kayla. Both of them came in and they're very quiet. They're very reserved individuals. They're not very vocal. But I don't know what happened. But now they're loud. They're vocal. And I think that's growth. I think that's growth and maturity and the importance that they see they play a role in this team. Malia has been amazing in just her overall thoughts, in her play, in her encouraging. Because we got 2 freshman post players that are as lost can be. And Malia will have them in here at a different time just working on a specific skill set. Of course, that didn't happen last year because Malia was a freshman. And so she has done a tremendous job of relating to them and helping them. I think in turn, it's helped her game make a big jump in what she's able to do. Because, sometimes when you walk through it or you go through it or if you walk in their shoes, then you're able to have a better understanding of it and then you're able to give better direction. And she has really, really done a great job. Malia is just a really special person. And I think she's going to have an unbelievable sophomore year.
Where do you see she has grown skill set wise on the court?
Well, she's really improved her hook shot. We've worked a lot on right and left jump hooks. And then she's also continued to improve on her face-up game at the elbow. I don't mean face-up game at 3-point line. That's not what I'm talking about. But at the elbow where she can catch it, hit the elbow shot, which last year, she was the one that came in. We worked to change her shot because she shot it from the other side of her head. So we had to really work on getting it over here on the right side to shoot it. So she's gained a lot of confidence in hitting that shot. And then she really can sweep in one dribble, get to that rim. So, again, I think she's just added to her game rather than just staying on that block to do a drop step or a turnaround jumper. So I think skill set-wise, she's improved in a lot of ways as well.
How fundamental was it for Malia and other sophomores and even freshmen to get this experience now going into their later careers?
I think it's going to be tremendous for them. I think having the summer and having the spring has really, really been good for them. Just because they were able to spend more time in the gym, able to be with each other, build a lot of chemistry with each other. So I think this is going to help their sophomore year because really their sophomore year is kind of like a freshman year, honestly, with what they were able to do. And so I just think they will show tremendous growth as we continue to progress through practice for sure. I think the other cool thing about this team is how they have built chemistry. Like all the sophomores and the newcomers live in our sorority village house where we live here on campus. They have had a lot of fun. They have painted stools. Half of them do not paint, but they've learned to paint. They have gone out and bought the sheets that you paint on. I can't even think of what you call them. But they have invested in that. They've got all kind of paint. They've painted pictures of all different sorts. They've played card games every night. So they've spent a lot of time together to bond with each other. And then the ones that don't live in the house have come over for card night and movie night, and they've been able to enjoy that as well. So I think the bond that they have been able to establish in the summer was really good, which last summer, we didn't get to do that. We didn't do any bonding last year. So this year it's been a whole lot better for them to have a better understanding of each other, of how to get on to each other and how to hold each other accountable because, you can't talk to everybody the same way. And that's for me as a coach. Everybody's a little different. So I can get on one person's butt really hard and that might be what she needs. But if I treat the other one that way, she's going to cry, and I'm not going to get anything out of her. So I think that it's been good for us as coaches, but it's been really, really good for the players to be able to learn to how to bond and how to accept each other.
Could you speak on the new locker rooms also? I saw
Woo!
the
To
girls
top.
have a lot of excitement for those on the social media page.
Yeah. I will tell you, that has been an ongoing process. We decided last year in the spring, actually, that we wanted to renovate our locker room. So it's been a long process. We got some estimates of what we thought it would cost. So we went into our golf tournament last year that we had in September with in mind that we had to raise $60,000. We had to clear $60,000 to get us started. And we in a COVID year, we cleared $67,000. Now we used all $67,000 and then some to be able to upgrade that locker room and our video area. We still have some other things we want to do in our lounge area, but we had our golf tournament in September, and we'll use that money. When we decided a year ago or a year and a half ago what we wanted to do with that money, just a lot of planning. People on campus had a big part of it, getting the right people to do the lockers, because all the lockers are they're made individually or made. It's not like it was something you snap together. But it's really, really pretty. Like our flooring was a special made flooring that we have because it's gray and gold. Actually, men's basketball ended up putting it in their coaches' areas, in their office space. That's the same flooring we have in our locker room. But it's really, really nice. And, I think that our girls actually told them at the end of it, I said, okay, you see how clean it is now? That's how clean it needs to be at the end. When we come back in, oh, Coach, we're going to keep it clean. But, every locker has its own TV, 32-inch flat screen TV on it. And, that's what we use right now for their logo. But we can put highlight clips up there so they come in the next day and they're able to watch their highlight clips on the TV. So I think that's really special. And the lockers overall are really, really nice. But they were really excited. We were excited for them to be excited. But all summer, they've not been in there. Most of it was finished in May. But in June and July and up to today, our managers do not do their laundry. I require our players to do their own laundry for practice. And they have to wear the same colors every day. So they have to coordinate that. The reason that I do that, number one, is it makes us appreciate the managers when they start washing clothes for us. They've got to be nice to those managers because they've done it since June. So we didn't have to get in the locker room because that's what we do. And so they had been on and on and on, Coach, can we get in there? Can we get in there? And so they were just really thrilled. They didn't think they were even going to get in there for the first practice, but we were able to make that happen.
Coach, I wanted to ask about your health and just where you are at now compared to last year.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I've done really well. Actually better than I thought or most people thought. I think there's days that we all have tough days in life. There's days I'm more tired than I am other days. And, days when it was really humid, I'd struggle in breathing because of the humidity. It just kind of clapped. But, I think so much is the attitude and how you look at it. I could stay in bed and moan and groan about it, but nothing's going to change. It's still going to be there. So I just take the high road to be able to remain as positive as possible, and I believe that that I will continue to do what I'm doing. I will always thank God every single day, every evening, several times throughout the day, that He's given me the opportunity to continue to be able to lead these fine group of young ladies and to be a part of so many people's lives that impact my life. And so I'm very grateful for it. But I'm still on medication. I take medication every day. Still get scans every 3 months, blood work every month. just to make sure. But currently where the cancer is at this point, it is still there. It's in my lungs and still where it is, but it is been able to stabilize. It has not grown and it has not shrunk. So the medication is keeping it at bay. And so I think that's a praise. I mean, obviously we'd like for it to go away, but they have told me the kind of cancer that I do have, that it will never go away. It will be treated like diabetes. It will always be there. You just don't want it to spread to other parts of your body, because lung cancer can go to bones, and go to many other parts of your body, and so brain. So just keeping the blood work and the scans every 3 months is able to keep that monitored. But I'm good to go. I go until I crash, and I go, oh. When I go home, I don't do a whole lot, I'll be honest with you. When I'm at work, I'm full go till I can go, and when I get at home by myself, I crash.
$4.99, what does that mean to you to get to 500?
I really don't think a whole lot about that. But I will say that my family, my coaches, players, support staff that have all been a part of my life, the administration at the University of Memphis that gave a young 28-year-old an opportunity to be a head coach at such an early age that really didn't know what all I was getting into or doing. I'm very thankful for all those people, and God put them in my life for a reason. And so I'm just grateful that I've been able to continue to coach for a long time. And I'm just thankful for those people. So the only way I've got to $4.99 is because of God and family and all the people that's been a part of my life.